this crystal sea of yours touches me so gently. The icy touch breaks across my body. These rays of sun are beaming on my neck. I'm in a trance. The sky darkens and the clouds begin to fade. A storm is coming, I see it now passing by. I slowly fall into the tide.
Hello Cancer. This is Inspire 2016 with your weekly tarot reading for the week commencing the 20th of February until the 26th of February 2017. The first card for you is representing, how do you feel about yourself? Your card is the Nine of Swords. Your experience of the world is greatly influenced by your expectations, desires, and fears, and therefore you are largely the creator of your own world, and your attitudes determine how you experience that world. The Nine of Swords can also reflect fear of the future, or what may possibly happen in the future. If you allow yourself to be bound by fear of the future, you are at risk of eventually creating a negative reality for yourself by virtue of your expectations. Your nightmare becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy, which is clearly not a desirable outcome. Generally, this card is an indication that you are worrying excessively about a situation. You are literally being kept up at night because you are so anxious about a particular issue. It is possible you are working yourself up unnecessarily and, if you were to look at the situation more objectively, you may come to realize that it is not as bad as you are making it out to be. In fact, all that worry and despair is what is making it worse, so rather than fretting about it, do something to change it. Although most people experience fear, frustration and uncertainty at some point in their lives, you should not allow those negative emotions to immobilize you or keep you from pursuing your goals with enthusiasm and hope. Expect at least some level of uncertainty in the future, and draw upon your inner strength to remain as flexible and adaptable to that uncertainty as possible. The Nine of Swords can also indicate that you are being incredibly hard on yourself, putting yourself down or engaging in negative self-talk. For every mistake you make, you blame yourself and become worked up and angry at yourself for messing up again. So, ask yourself why you are being so hard on yourself. How are you putting yourself down, or what is the source of your depression? What can you do to make yourself feel better? The second card for you is representing, what do you want most right now? Your card is the Nine of Wands. What do you want most right now is achieving success and overcoming challenges. You are so close to completing a particular project or task, but at the last minute, you are faced with yet another challenge or setback. Know that you have the inner resources necessary to overcome any difficulty you encounter, even though it may seem impossible at the time. You are so close to finally achieving success. Do not give up now. The Nine of Wands is a sign of hope and encouragement that if you stand firm and strong against your challenges, you will achieve your goal. The challenges before you now are only the last bit of darkness before the break of a wonderful dawn. The Nine of Wands is like the one last test or challenge before you can reach ultimate success. You feel as if you have come to the end of your fighting powers, but you have the skill and determination in reserve. You are in a position of strength, and by drawing upon all of your courage and abilities, you will prevail. Once the last obstacle is overcome, you are home free. The Nine of Wands encourages you to be resilient. You will continue to be opposed by hidden enemies, and your interests will be questioned. Even in the face of such adversity, when you are feeling battled and bruised, you need to be patient and vigilant. Be assured that you will eventually prosper if you maintain your position. And remember, if you do not succeed at first, then try again. You may have experienced setbacks that now leave you feeling distrustful of others or even yourself. The turning point will come when you are able to leave the past behind you and to cultivate a more open mind about the future. While you have experienced losses in the past, it does not mean that you have to experience further losses in the future. Turn a new leaf and push on. Sometimes, the Nine of Wands encourages a risk-averse approach. You need to expect the worst and therefore take extra precautions to avoid any negative consequences to your plans. You need to be on guard and wary of any potential obstacles or opponents who may stand in your way. The third card for you is representing your fears. Your card is the Four of Swords. You are afraid and feeling restless and wanting to do everything at once. Even if your body is telling you that you need to rest and relax, your mind may be pushing you forward, trying to accomplish a long list of tasks. You may be getting quite sick or stressed as a result, so it is vital that you force yourself to pause and take it easy to ensure that you do not become completely run down and exhausted. You may also be trying to avoid any period of contemplation or meditation on a particular issue because you are worried about what it might bring up. You need to return to the energy of the Three of Swords and confront the pain and grief that exists within your heart. You need to experience that pain as it is preventing you from being able to move on. Once you have experienced it, it will begin to subside and you will be able to live a more fulfilling life. The Four of Swords can also represent stagnation and a lack of action that is leading to increased frustration. For example, a long-term marriage is no longer progressing and is spiritually and emotionally empty. You may need to take a break from this stalled situation and come back to it when the energy is flowing better. Similarly, the Four of Swords suggests that you are feeling frustrated with the lack of progress and change in your life. Many things have stood still or have failed to change in the way you were hoping they would. Part of this lack of change, however, is as a result of your passive approach. There may have been situations that were frustrating to you or that you were unhappy with, but you may have opted to just sit it out and hope that they would eventually change, rather than taking action to create a more desirable outcome. The fourth card for you is representing what is going for you. Your card is the Eight of Wands. You are so sure about your goal that all distractions have been removed and you can devote yourself to the task with complete concentration, determination, and will. This experience can be very productive, allowing you to accomplish a lot in short time. With the Eight of Wands, you can look forward to the rapid completion of a project that is currently underway, but you can also expect to be occupied by something new and even more exciting and inspiring very soon. There really is no stopping you right now, as you are just bursting with energy and ideas, and cannot wait to achieve one task in order to start another. To maximize this energy, it is important to ensure that your activities are focused on your broader goals and that you are investing in the right things at the right time. Also, make sure that before you move to the next task, your previous task is complete. This card is a sign to strike while the iron is hot. It is most definitely an action-oriented card that encourages you to move quickly to pursue the best opportunities available right now. There is no waiting around while the Eight of Wands is present, so determine where your energy will be directed and get on with it. Often, the Eight of Wands suggests air travel. It is more likely to be a short-term or whirlwind trip, such as a business trip or holiday. You may even enjoy being part of a tour group that visits 10 countries in as many days. On the downside, the Eight of Wands denotes haste and rapid advancement of a situation which may result in the wrong decisions being made. It will be important to have all your resources available to be used in your best interests. Be mindful not to rush into things without having a clear plan of where you are heading. The fifth card for you is representing what is going against you. Your card is the Page of Wands. You might have tried a few new ventures or projects, but these have not been particularly successful. You may have had a vision to start a new hobby or project, with the view that it would lead to bigger and better things, but you soon realized that you had taken the wrong approach and it wasn't leading to the growth and development you had expected. You may have started to realize that you had not really focused enough on what your goals and objectives were, and that is why you were not reaching the outcomes you wanted. Luckily, you had not progressed too far along and were able to easily retreat from those projects with limited impact. Sometimes, too, these setbacks can be helpful in testing out new territories and exploring what will and will not work for you. You may also find that your eagerness to start something new has been negatively impacted by complexities, obstacles and opposition, which has resulted in a lack of motivation and indecisiveness about your path forward. You may also be fearful of whether you can really get your project or idea up and running, or if you are just going to be weighed down by more responsibility and troubles. The Page of Wands can depict a person who is immature with a self-image problem. It could be someone who is mean-spirited and aggressive, or someone who is helpless and always a victim. This is someone who never has anything good to say, is always pessimistic, and always brings everyone down. This person undercuts your enthusiasm and your self-confidence. Often, this is a superficial, lazy and arrogant person, one who is unwilling to make an effort, and is uncooperative and impatient. The last card for you is representing the likely outcome that you may have. Your card is the Ace of Cups. There would be a new beginning of love, happiness and compassion in your life. It can indicate the start of a new relationship, be it a friendship or a romance. This is one of those relationships where you feel the sense of excitement and you are so pleased to have met someone with whom you can share a special connection. The water in the card reflects the flow of emotion, and thus the Ace of Cups suggests that positive emotion and energy will be created between two people in a way that leaves you feeling good about yourself and life in general. You need to experience the feeling of new love or of giving and receiving unconditional love. Give and accept love on a new level and open your heart to what is around you. Your loving ways will magnetize love to you. This card often means that love is the essence of the situation. It may or may not be romantic love. Look for ways in which you can begin to connect with others. Do you have someone to forgive? Or do you want to ask for forgiveness? Can you set aside your anger and find peace? Would you like to drop your reserve and let your feelings show? This is a peaceful time in your life, so use it and make peace with friends or yourself. The Ace of Cups is also about creative expression, particularly where there is an opportunity to allow your emotions to shine through. You are very open to experiencing your inner feelings and sharing them with others. You may be inspired to start a new creative project, take up an art class or two, or even engage in interpretative dance. You are at that point in your life where you feel comfortable with who you are and what you feel, and you are not afraid to express that part of yourself to others. You see new potential in allowing your creative juices to flow, and as such, you are open to new possibilities and stimulating your imagination to allow your talent to unfold. There is certainly a generous, compassionate component to the Ace of Cups. This is a time of giving, not taking, and offering yourself to a new opportunity to help others. You have the power to bring great happiness to others and to share your contentment and positive energy. You will also find that the more you give, the more you receive on multiple levels. The Ace of Cups often points to fertility. From a very literal point of view, this means that the Ace of Cups can indicate conception, pregnancy or birth. There may be the birth of a new idea or a spark of new inspiration. It can represent the beginning of a project in which a great deal of loving and creative energy is invested. Last but not least, the guidance card for you is the heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Your love life needs a healthy infusion of honest communication, according to the romance angels. You've been harboring emotions that are masking your feelings of love. There's still time to heal the situation. However, it will require effort on your part. You may need to initiate an uncomfortable discussion and risk upsetting your partner. In the end, though, this is a necessary move to ensure the health of your relationship. If necessary, schedule an appointment with a counselor to facilitate the discussion. This professional can steer the conversation away from blame and toward resolution. You can also gain support from free groups such as Emotions Anonymous, Codependence Anonymous, or Al-Anon. Meetings are held internationally and online, and you can find them through your internet search engine. Whether you communicate with your partner alone or with a neutral third party, your heart-to-heart discussions will result in personal growth. Remember that you can't control another's reactions. You can only be honest about how you feel and know what you will and won't accept in a relationship. By sharing your feelings, you stand a much better chance of teaching your partner about your needs, instead of suffering silently.
I hope that you enjoy everything, and if you like the reading, just please click subscribe and you will get instant notifications every time we publish a new video right to your YouTube. Thanks.